This ministerial panel will highlight how the government of Belize is advancing that vision through targeted investments in transport, utilities, and sustainable infrastructure, while also creating the enabling policies to support new and emerging industries. The discussion will explore agreements, how infrastructure is aligned with investor priorities, how new trade tariffs and regional agreements are shaping market opportunities, and how Belize is embedding climate resilience into its development strategy. I believe Minister Fonseca did a very good job in explaining that. More than a conversation, though, about roads, ports, or utilities, this is a dialogue on building the foundation for long-term competitiveness. The panel will show how coordinated government action is positioning Belize as an investment-ready economy and a gateway for regional and global trade. As is usual, we have questions for our three ministers. We will start with Minister Dr. Louis Abane. And your first question, and he has said he will answer through a visual, is what transport projects are being prioritized to strengthen local infrastructure to ensure smoother logistics for investors?
I have the pleasure to respond to this question on a very exciting initiative that we have that's in progress, which is the modernization of our highway bus sector. To answer that question, to be able to be competitive, we have to have a very efficient, modern bus sector that is serving our commuters. We're intersecting with Mexico, Central America, the Caribbean. This is a sector that will be vital for us to be able to deliver on that part of the economy that is so important. And so we can hit go now. We're at the point right now where we're working with our operators who are across the country. I'll give you a quick history. Some of you might be able to see that as the way how we used to travel way in the past. Later on, in the mid-80s, we started to get to the buses. One of these days, I'll come back and tell you why there's a Z in front there. But we have five operators across the country that started out in the late 60s up to about the mid-80s when we had another 4 entrants into the market. At that time, we had a bus sector where we had bus tickets, we had a system of terminals, and a fairly good service to our commuters. Since then, we had one major event that occurred in 2001 when the operators tried to consolidate because there was increased competition that wasn't really helping with service. It ended up in 2004 with the receivership of the Novelos Group. I don't know if maybe I'm talking too slow. But ultimately, it was a race to the bottom because competition increased to the point that now we have 31 operators. And the idea now, we're working with all the operators. We have uncovered, after deep analysis, that the state of the sector being one in which we have a lot of unsafe practices, services to the commuters, inefficient, overcrowded buses. All of these things are certainly not serving our public. And so that deep dive in the analysis showed that it's too much competition. We've gone to a point now where it's a race to the bottom. And in that case, there is pun intended. You could see a case here recently on the highway. We had a cam here and notice this right here, the overtaking of one bus on the other because of racing. There's a vehicle behind this one that had to go off the road totally. So the state of affairs is one in which we certainly are not pleased, and we're going to be working very hard to deal with these challenges. This functional structure, where we have too many operators on the road, yet we have rising consumer demand, Workers can't get to work on time, and we have a weakness in terms of enforcement that's needed to be able to bring the standards that are already on the books but have not been, we haven't had the opportunity to be able to put them into place. So in terms of the transformation, affordable clean energy, decent work, and sustainable cities, climate action, all of these are in this sustainable development goals, and we're aiming to work interministerially to achieve these goals with, and this project that we're working on aims to take us there. So we've had significant stakeholder engagements, meeting with the bus owners, of course, other partners like the IDB. We've met with the unions. We've had auditors that will be doing an assessment of the value of all of the operators. We've met with friends from CABE, and our friends from UNDP are a very important partner because now we're working with them with support from the EU to be able to look now at e-mobility, as Mr. Fonseca mentioned before, as a part of the strategy going forward, where we're now bringing all the bus owners on their own free will to form a new national company that they will own. And so here's an example of a public-private partnership. We've had 65% of them have come on board of the 31, agreeing to be a part of the new company. They see the benefits, and government will then contribute to that PPP, the terminals that are owned. The operators will then put in their assets that they have, and we'll certainly then be able to invite other partners to come on board to make this a reality. So we're now at the point where we're doing the financial and economic analyses, and soon we'll be coming up with the opening balance sheet and a prospectus and an implementation plan, and hopefully be able to, by 2026, have this consolidated company. So the partners that are to be involved in this exciting venture, of course, the government of Belize, the bus operators, institutional investors, international partners, and other potential private investors. So once we have this in place, we'll be able to, over the next 3 years, see the modernization of all of our terminals across the country, new buses, the whole fleet being renewed, having proper scheduling, proper management of the entire sector, and be able now to deliver the service that our commuters deserve. And this then forms an important part of the work that we need to do to become a competitive economy and to play our role from the Ministry of Transport in making this a reality. Thank you, moderator. Thank you for accommodating this presentation. Appreciate it.